The first discussion we'll be having today is about what has happened so far since last year up until this year. World Cup, everything, activities, the leagues, and everything. Then, looking at all those things, who do you think deserves the Ballon d'Or?
For this, I would say between Messi and Haaland, I'll give it to Messi, considering the fact that he won the World Cup, and looking at his performance, all his performance during the World Cup from the first game to the last game, it was very spectacular and very influential for the team for their triumph in the World Cup. And looking at his
league performance
in the league, he has 15 goals and 13 assists. So in 25 and 28 games, so it has been a superb year for Lionel Messi. And looking at comparing him with Haaland, fine. Haaland, he has been spectacular for Man City, coming from a different league to Premier League, and he has 32 goals and out of 35 games. So it's a spectacular thing. Even though he doesn't have, he has just 5 assists. But looking at Messi scores, Messi also assists, and he also carries the team most of the time.
And he won the World Cup.
And he also won the World Cup. So I feel because it's also a looking at the time of the of Ballon d'Or that we're going to do. So considering the fact that looking at the space of the World Cup till this time with the Premier League and checking their performance, comparing their performances, you will see that Messi deserves to have the Ballon d'Or over Haaland. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Quickly, let's discuss the Champions League game that was played this week on Tuesday and yesterday, respectively. First, let's talk about the Madrid versus Man City's game. We also what happened. I think last week we discussed about the possible outcome of the match, and some said some stuff, and some said another stuff. But at the end of the day, we saw what actually happened.
Yes.
What's your take on the game?
Last week I told you guys that the way Man City play in Premier League is different from Champions League. When you look at Real Madrid, talk of this Champions League of the thing, they are king. They are the president. What's it called? They are the one that is holding the the league presently now. I mean the cup, right? So I was telling Vat last week that you don't expect Man City to come and beat Real Madrid. If you see the way they played that game was very even. The way they dominate that game, they play very well. Anyway, Man City really played too because Man City did not believe what they saw that is not what they're expecting. The game was very, very tough, and I really enjoyed it because you taking your money to somewhere to watch that game, you don't waste your money. The game was very, very interesting. I really enjoyed what I watched that. I really filled up my eyes, and I was very, very happy with what I saw that day. But the truth is, I still see Real Madrid taking up, qualifying for the next round, the final, I mean. You understand? Because the game will not be an easy task though, because Man City will not take it lightly with them.
All right, I have another question for you, but before I ask you that stuff, let's hear from Pat.
Yeah, talking about the Madrid Man City game. Fine. Looking at the game, I expected more from Man City, and but at the end of the game, I evaluated and I realized that Madrid were more intentional in the game. They were more disciplined in the game. They played like champions.
That is them.
So that was
the mentality
different.
is there.
That was different. They had the winning mentality.
Yes.
And but Man City was able to curtail all those qualities. And they had, at the end of the day, they had a draw. But looking at the squad of Man City, looking at the two managers and the psychology game they played,
and the
tactics, the strategy they used, I still believe. And because I said last week that at the end of the day, Man City will qualify for finals, and I'm still reiterating that, and I'm still saying that coming next week, Man City will still take. They are still going to win Madrid. Looking at what Pep can actually still bring out, because if you look at the game, Pep did not substitute anybody. He didn't bring in.
Okay, sorry. Before you chip in that, let's talk about the tactical aspect of the game.
Okay.
I think Pep actually deployed some kind of tactics. And he was actually intentional about the formation and the guys that was on the pitch, that very day. And if you looked at that Madrid team, if you check the formation and the tactics, you would realize Ancelotti also, knew what he was doing because he had to move this guy,
Camavinga,
and I don't know if you now. What do you have to say about that? The change in tactics. Do you think it is obvious to Madrid that Man City has the quality to actually hurt them? Because if not that, I think they should have gone with their normal first 11 and without changing anything.
Looking at the formation, looking at the lineup, looking at the selection of players for Ancelotti. Ancelotti, a manager who is well experienced in terms of Champions League. He is experienced in every stages of Champions League, so he knows how to deal with them. So look coming against Man City, he knows Man City uses their flanks. He knows they have Grealish, they have
and they have De Bruyne.
Bernardo Silva from the other side, and De Bruyne from the middle. So he used Cavani to block Grealish, and he used Camavinga to block Bernardo Silva. If you look at the game very well, you realize that in first half, Bernardo Silva was very, very silent. Camavinga did his...
That was because Pep knew that Ancelotti was going to deploy someone to stop De Bruyne, and he needed another person as 10 as a provider to provide for Alan.
For me, two things make Ancelotti succeed that day. First and foremost, he has the experience of Premier League. Then the mentality of winning in Real Madrid is still there. He has been in Premier League as a coach. He coached Chelsea, Everton, if I'm not mistaken, and some other team like that. So, what really makes Ancelotti succeed that day is that he has already have experience of. He know how Man City do play. You understand? Because when he was in Premier League, he was playing against Man City many times. You understand? And you know how to play them, you know how to counter them.
This is a new Man City.
Yes, I know this is a new. No, he also played them when there is new Man City.
But this is a new Man City.
You understand?
This current Man City is different.
What really made him succeed that day is that because he knew what Man City are made of. He knew their quality. Because if you see Man City, what Man City played that day, I was really shocked because their game is not. They don't play the way they normally used to play. The game was very all of us we were entertained. We enjoyed that game. The game is not that playing score. The game, yes, you understand. The game balance. I love the way that game is. But what I'm trying to say is, you will see that second leg, the things as in the lineup, everything will not be like this one that happened this week. I'm telling you the truth. Just go and write it because the two manager, they've seen where they need to amend and where they need to put some things. But this thing we are talking about now, for me, I'm still seeing Real Madrid like seriously taking over.
For me, I'm seeing Man City having like a higher advantage, more advantage than Ancelotti. Because if you look at the game, you realize that Ancelotti at the end of the game, he brought out all his strategies. He brought out key players. He substituted players to fill in, to adjust at the end of the day. Man City did not substitute. Why? Because they knew the strength of the players on the pitch. They were able to curtail everything. Even the other players that came in, they were still able to hold them to that 1-1 draw. So I feel Pep has advantage because he has this guy on bench.
Mahrez.
He has Mahrez on bench. He has Foden on bench. He has Alvarez on bench. So he has other clues of strategies of things to do coming next week. So I feel one of the reasons why they were able to hold one of the reasons why Madrid had an edge over Man City last week. They were able to hold Haaland. Rudiger was able to hold Haaland. So
but I said it last week. I said Rudiger will be the one to hold Haaland. I said that last week.
Against 10. So it was like Haaland was like -1.
But if we look at it properly, you would realize both teams have quality players.
Yes. Of course.
Good players, very good players. But at the end of the day, I still see the more tactical coach coming out as the winner. Because if you checked that game, at some point, I was like, I think Man City is way too overrated. Because Ancelotti, the way Ancelotti approached the game.
Yes, they were packing balls.
Yes.
Madrid.
Not like they were packing balls.
And
no,
they played to counter.
To counter,
no,
yes.
Not like they
not only counter,
but they knew within themselves that the best way to handle Man City is not by going all out.
And there's no breathing. They don't give them breathing space.
They have to sit back.
If you notice, Real Madrid did not give Man City to play their normal best game. As you over like this, they
enter. You can't give Man City space.
Yes,
if you give them space,
they know how to use ball. They know how to use ball.
But
Finally, that's what I'm saying.
Before moving on, do you really see? Let's be candid with ourselves. Do you really see Madrid winning at Etihad?
I can I say I'm seeing draw. I'm seeing this game ending penalty.
You are seeing it.
That is what I said. I'm seeing a draw. First half draw. Second half to draw. I'm seeing it ending penalty.
You don't see Man City winning?
No, Man City will not win. If you see anyone winning there, it's Real Madrid. It's not Man City.
That's what you're saying.
I still don't. I'm not going to change my word. Man City is winning. Man City to the finals.
To the finals.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about the game that was played yesterday against Inter Milan and AC Milan.
I was so shocked.
Did you see it?
Within 10 or 15 minutes to go. You know, was like, that's football. Sometimes, see.
Do you think Inter is more superior to AC Milan?
We cannot see football. See, football can be funny sometimes. What happened that day? Then personally, Inter Milan could not believe that early goal, that 2 goal can come easily like that. That's football. If you notice, this guy, this Portugal player, the guy was very shocked when that 2 goals. Then they show him on the Leo. There was like the guy was very shocked. How could this happen? But that's football. And second leg, we can say AC Milan can come back with football second leg. You understand? But the truth, I was very, very, very shocked as I see that 2 goals. After seeing that 2 goals, I was like, I just lose my interest of watching to continue to watch that game. I didn't continue the game.
But looking at the two teams, I felt Inter Milan were more intentional, more disciplined. Look at their character. Look at the way they played. They were more strategic than AC Milan. Even though AC Milan, they are actually missing out on
some core players.
So I feel those 2 players would have also added to them, but nevertheless, they were 2-0 behind Inter Milan in a very short period. Very, very like between 2-3 minutes. The gap between the first goal and the second goal was like within 5 minutes or so.
Yes, it was not too much.
It was not. So they were able to concede 2 goals within first 25 minutes of the first half. So it was a very shocking one, and that 2 goals really weakened the team, and gave Inter the upper hand to rule through the game.
So do you see AC coming out in their next leg?
Like seeing them, they play on the same pitch. And yesterday, AC Milan was meant to be home, even though they use the same San Siro. But if Inter can score 2 goals and in front of more AC Milan fans, so it can happen like that next week.
They could not reply with any goal.
Of course, it can happen like that next week, and AC Milan having more fans than Inter Milan having more fans than AC Milan, and AC Milan to scoring 2 goals. Maybe Leo is back or Ibrahimovic is back or so. So, but I still see Inter going to the finals. Yeah.
All right, we've come to the end of today's show. Thank you so much for joining us, and we want to tell our subscribers a very big thank you, and we would like you to comment and tell us what you feel about what we are doing here. If there's any question you would want us to bring on the show, if there's anything you would like us to discuss, please kindly drop your comments at the comment section and we'll address it. Check us on YouTube at Tokot Media, and on Instagram at Tokot Sports, also on Facebook at Tokot Sports, on Twitter at Tokot Sports. All right, thank you so much. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.